Recently, 3 of my clients started their side hustle working from home, and this wild thing happened. Now, if you're wondering how to make money with a side hustle, I'm gonna tell you what they did, and more importantly, what they did not do to get it. My first client, this guy is Nate. Nate is a brilliant guy. He was doing real estate investing, and then all of a sudden, 2020 hit. If you recall that, like the world froze. Nobody knew what to do. We're all staying at home, hunkering down. We got our little snuggies that we're cuddling with and watching Netflix for 25 hours a day. Yes, there's actually 25 hours in a day. Who knew, right? We didn't sleep at all during those hours, right? We just watched TV and binge watched everything. He was in that same place. He's like, whoa, real estate just froze. People aren't selling or buying houses right now. What do I do to fill in my time? So Nate was looking for a side hustle himself. As Nate was going through YouTube, like you are probably right now, looking for side hustles, he came across book flipping. Now, when he told me this, I said, book flipping? Like, I've heard of flipping properties where you buy a property and then turn around and sell it, usually within a matter of months. But what's book flipping? Is that like heads or tails, like flipping a book over or whatever? I don't know what that means. He says, Chris, it's pretty simple. What I do, he's like, I find books that are actually of value, things that we can resell online. And so I go to like garage sales, yard sales. I can go to bookstores or Goodwill stores, places all over. And I look at the book, and if the price is the right price, I can buy it, turn around, sell it online for more money. So he's literally buying a book cheap, buy low, sell high, right? He's buying the book cheap to then turn around and sell online for more. He even had an app that made it easy. So not only did he just do this for himself, he said, how do I do this where it's not just me doing all this work? He was making decent money, had a whole business. He started to make it legit, hiring employees, and then he even got other people to do it too. In fact, he even got my own kids and my wife to start trying it out and say, let's see if this thing really works. So he had an app that was really easy. You could just scan the barcode with this app, and it'll either give you a check mark saying, that's the one, buy it, or X, which is what most of them had, did not buy it. And it was crazy. We found a French Harry Potter book that was selling for a couple bucks that said a big green check mark saying, buy it. And we're like, who wants a French Harry Potter book? Well, apparently somebody does because it's worth buying. So we did. We spent like a good hour in a Goodwill store, maybe not that long. Maybe it was about 30 minutes. But we found like 10 books that we were able to make several dollars off of, make about 20 bucks off of. And I thought, that's cool. So you can actually do book flipping. So I thought that was a really creative way to do it. Now, the thing he didn't do, of course, is, and this is important, is that he didn't work alone, right? He got other people to help him, because imagine if you're the one trying to go all these bookstores and Goodwill and going to, yard sales and everything, that could be a lot of work. But when you get other people around you to support you, you're not alone. All right, the second client is Brian. Now, Brian had started making some pretty good passive income with us. He had already bought several properties and everything. He was only 32 years old, already over $4,000 a month of passive income. But he still had some money to invest. He was wondering what to do. And the thing that really popped in his head, he's like, I think I want a side business. Because he was an employee. He worked in tech. He wanted that side business to give him those extra business write-offs. He decided he wanted to go into an Airbnb business. He wanted to do short-term rentals. Now, many people talk about it seems glamorous to do short-term rentals. But he didn't just go and start the business willy-nilly. Here's what he did do. He went and he got a mentor. He found somebody who was doing this kind of business to help teach him how to get everything set up right and do the right thing. Now, here's what he did not do. He did not buy the properties. Now, most people, when they think about Airbnb business, the first objection that comes up is, I don't know if I can afford to buy these properties, especially if you're on the western half of the United States and the prices are sky high, or if you're in California. I mean, imagine California, you buy a cheap house for $1 million. You got to put a down payment of what, $200,000? Not many people have that money just lying around that they can just use. Well, Brian learned from his mentor, who also was actually in California. He learned from the mentor that you don't have to buy the house. You can actually go and rent the house. So for example, you go to an apartment building and maybe there's 3 units that are vacant, and you go to that landlord, you say, listen, you have 3 vacant units in your building. I will go and rent all 3 units from you. So I'll rent from you. I'll do the first and last month's rent. But then what do I do next? Is I'm going to turn around and I'm going to rent it to somebody else. I'm going to sublease it to somebody else. Now, the landlord might say, ooh, I don't know if I want people in and out. But you say, listen, have you ever stayed in an Airbnb? You know how clean it has to stay? We have to buy insurance on all these things. We have to make sure. In fact, we even charge people money to buy insurance. He's like, we'll even clean the vents, the air intakes for you. He's like, how many of your tenants actually clean that well? We're gonna clean better than any of your tenants in this building. We're gonna take better care of this than all of you guys. And so that's what he started doing. Sometimes you can even work with the landlord to help you buy furniture and furnish that apartment. Other times you're just spending maybe 5, 10 grand to furnish that place. So instead of paying 200 grand to go and buy a brand new house just to Airbnb, you might be able to rent it for maybe 10 grand and be able to start renting it out and making profits right away. And he was making a couple thousand a month doing that. Usually people can make their money back within a year doing that kind of thing. So that was Brian's thing. So what Brian did not do is he did not buy the properties. Number 3 is Bob. Now Bob is near and dear to my heart because I loved what he did. He had a passion for baseball coaching. I mean, he was out there in the state of Washington. He was doing the summer ball with teenagers. Now, it wasn't just the baseball that he loved. He loved being able to work with young men, those teenagers. You know them, the hormonal, crazy, never think about what they're doing type of teenagers, right? But he wanted to shape these into good, solid, good citizens, good young men. He saw this as a great training program to become men. So it wasn't just about baseball, it was about doing that. Now, Bob had a great track record. He would actually take these guys to the state championships and help them win. So he not only trained them to be men, but he trained them to be winners. Now, Bob was working a full-time job and he was grateful. That job allowed him to have some flexibility to take time off whenever it was baseball season. And I'll tell you, when I talked to his wife, I said, Holly, what is Bob like during baseball season versus not the season? She said, oh, Bob is so much happier. He is like on cloud 9 when he's coaching baseball. During the off season, he's just kind of working, but he's not really thrilled about life, but he loves coaching. And I said, well, maybe we make a side hustle out of this. Maybe we actually make this, we get him to actually get paid to be a coach, maybe a high school baseball coach. Well, guess what? There were no job openings for that. And so after we started talking for a while, I said, you know what, Bob? Maybe we don't worry about making money on this. And that's the thing he did not do, is he did not coach for money. We said, Bob, you love it. It lights you up. You have a wonderful job that gives you the flexibility to do it. Why don't we look at this job, instead of being like a ball and chain, look at this job as the opportunity to allow you to do what you love. And it actually allows you to have the money coming in that you need, and you can still do what you love. That lights you up. It makes your life worth living way above and beyond. I mean, it just makes your life special. Why don't we do that? Bob said, great, let's do it. So he did. He just kept coaching, but he was more grateful for his job. Just like all things, I always tell people, dollars follow value. You keep creating value, you keep serving, solving problems, and adding value in people's lives, the money will come. Guess what? Bob, his first position he got offered was to be an assistant coach at the local high school baseball team. Also helped train those young men to be champions. So he got to be able to shape those same young men that he was already working with in the off season. Now he is actually getting paid. Now he's the head coach of that baseball team, allowing him to do those kind of things. So what did he not do? He didn't coach for money. He actually made money later because he just did what he loved, and the money soon followed. So again, recap, whether you're book flipping like Nate, whether you're running an Airbnb business like Brian, or you're coaching sometimes for free, whatever it is, here's the thing, is that you can make great money with side hustle. Side hustle can be the things that light you up if it's tied in with your talents and your passions, and you do it for fun, or you do it for a business. But again, there's got to be that need to make sure you're doing those things. So this comes back to you. And I would love to hear in the comments, what are the side hustles that you think would be fun for you to do? What are some things you can do working from home? Because the great thing is that nowadays it's easier to work from home than ever. With us being in this more virtual world, and especially thanks to 2020, right? Now it's become more acceptable. Now you can actually sit at home, you can wear a nice shirt like this, and then wear shorts down below it because no one cares. They can't see you, right? No one cares about what the bottom half's like. You can do so many things from home that you couldn't do otherwise. Think of the side hustle that you could do. How can you take your talents and your passions and intertwine those together to create something that fulfills a need, that solves a problem for people, serves people in a way that money is just a natural byproduct? That's the fun thing. That's why we love to be able to have a side hustle you can do from home. And hey, if the side hustle doesn't work, you could always do something else. You could always create passive income in other ways that doesn't require time and energy. But that's for another video. So again, if you like this video, you should check out that video, which is how to turn your hobby into a side hustle. And as a bonus, I actually teach you how to create passive income with no time, no energy at all. So go check that out today.